60 years ago, the survival rate for children with cancer was 0. Now the survival rate is 80%. We've gone from almost every child dying to 4 out of 5 children surviving their disease. The whole basis of that fantastic improvement in survival rates is through translational research.
Put simply, translational cancer research involves taking laboratory-based research and moving it into the clinic to the bedside.
But that's not the end usually. Translation requires several iterative steps where you are going back and forth between scientist and clinician.
It's a cycle from bench to bedside and back to bench.
That bridge between the clinic and the laboratory is what makes the difference between making an invention and having it applied to patient care and making a difference.
We spent a Saturday afternoon visiting a friend's place, and Maddie was jumping on the trampoline, and then she fell, hurt her leg, and was limping on that leg for most of the afternoon. I decided to take her to my GP on the Monday. Sort of mentioned to him that she may be a little bit pale, and he agreed and said we might just do a blood test. He rang us the next day, asked us to come in, and I knew straight away that it was not good. That was when our world fell apart and Maddie's journey began.
How do we identify those kids that need more treatment to ensure that they survive? You can't simply give more treatment to every patient because there are side effects, and those side effects can either be lifelong or in some cases lethal.
Maddie had pre-B cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia, which required 6 to 9 months of intense chemotherapy. She lost her hair, which was pretty upsetting for a 5-year-old.
We developed the test that allowed us to identify only 5 weeks after diagnosis which were the children who were at greatest risk of relapse.
So MRD testing, or minimal residual disease testing, involves taking a molecular genetic technique that can pick up very small numbers of leukemia cells.
What we've done is harness the power of modern molecular biology to be able to get a molecular fingerprint of each child's leukemia, and to use that fingerprint to be able to detect one leukemic cell among 1 million normal cells.
We can now follow these children and see which children are actually responding or not responding to the therapy that they're being given.
Maddie's MRD testing showed that her treatment didn't need to be intensified, which meant that the chances of her having any late side effects was greatly reduced. I mean, now Maddie's a happy, healthy, very active 10-year-old, and we owe a lot of that directly to the MRD testing and the personalised treatment plan that they came up with for her.
As a result of developing this test, the survival rate for these children climbed up to over 70%, virtually a doubling in their survival rate.
There are literally dozens of children walking around today who are alive who would not have been if it hadn't been for that test.
We're over the moon to have Maddie here and healthy and in remission and going fantastically well.
So it's through translational research that will give us the tools that we need to develop safer, better, more effective treatments to ultimately cure this disease.